thing we need to be told in the public is what type of report this is. Is it a simple prosecution memo? This is what Robert Mueller looked at and why he prosecuted these cases, or does it contain more information? Does it go into the issue of obstruction of justice and why the president wasn't indicted, maybe because of the Justice Department guideline against doing that? Does it go into other matters that didn't lead to indictments, but that tell us more about interactions within the Trump world and Russia while Russia was attacking the U.S. election? We need to know that before we can evaluate whether he's holding anything back. And I can't, for the life of me, come up with one good reason why they can't even tell us how long the report is, right? What type of report it is, and then you can decide whether there's a political battle to be had here if Barr sits on it, and that'll be up to Congress. So, we've got to learn a few more things about this report before we make it the be-all, because we already know a lot about the scandal. We know that other investigations and the world of Trump-Russia scandal doesn't begin and end with this report.
Well, and also, Sarah Kendzior, we know that Donald Trump demands loyalty oaths from the people who work for him, and we know that some people have given them and some people refuse, including Jim Comey, which is why he got fired. So, for all we know, William Barr is operating under an oath of loyalty to this president. So, the challenge I'm having is having confidence that whatever his report, because it's not the Mueller report we're going to get, it's the Barr report, and now we're supposed to just trust that whatever he writes.
Yeah,
I don't think you should trust it. I don't think we should have blind trust in anything.
Oh, sure, it'll never be enough for any of you.
Well, you should know that Trump appoints people who are going to be loyal.
They just working themselves into a frenzy.
And the loyalty is not to the United States. It is not to the Constitution. It is not to the American people. It is purely to Trump, his money, his his personal interests, and that's why Barr was selected. Barr is also a GOP loyalist. The GOP is invested in covering up these.
Let's see what Wolf Blitzer's got to say. They're all pissed off. They're all pissed off. They got nothing on Trump now. God damn it.
President in terms of obstruction of justice and possibly collusion, but it is certainly a good sign that there weren't any charges having to do with collusion and no more indictments.
What other investigations that are still ongoing outside of the Mueller investigation have potentially could be of deep concern to the president?
Right. I think that's actually one of the things that has worried people around the president. Certainly the Southern District of New York, the Manhattan prosecutors, federal prosecutors in Manhattan who've been digging into the campaign finance violation, well, some sort of leftover from the Michael Cohen case. That case is still ongoing. People close to the president believe that investigation in New York is going to continue. There's an investigation into the inauguration committee. Again, that's going to continue. There's also things that could impact or affect the president's own company. So
yes, so you keep your hopes up.
Put behind him, certainly, once we see the results of it.
They'll get him for something. Damn.
Federal prosecutors accuse essentially Paul Manafort.
This is just laughable. I'm just loving this shit.
Take $1 billion. Paul Manafort is supposed to surrender about $11 million to the federal government. In a filing today, prosecutors essentially accused him of trying to use another shell company to try to take at least $1 million of that. So some of this stuff is still going to be going on even after Mueller's gone.
Paul Manafort, the former Trump campaign chairman, who's been sentenced to about 7.5 years in prison. Everybody stick around. There's more news we're following. Democrats from the House of Representatives held an emergency conference call earlier this afternoon to discuss the release of the Mueller report. Our senior congressional correspondent, Manu Raju, is joining us from Capitol Hill. Right
Demands. They're out there with their demands. We demand this. Fucking losers.
Yeah, that's right. House Democratic chairman sent a letter on Friday to various agencies, including the White House, the Justice Department, the FBI, and even the State Department, to preserve records related to the Mueller investigation. Now, this is all part of their effort to try to get the Trump administration, the Justice Department, to turn over the underlying evidence in addition to the public, to the report of the Mueller report, make that public, make that available to Capitol Hill.
I hope they don't show them nothing.
Something they've been demanding all day long. And in talking points that were circulated earlier today, the Democratic members of the House caucus the Democratic leadership made very clear that they would stop and voted nothing. They would
No more indictments. They don't have to show them nothing else.
if necessary, Democrats would be prepared to
No crime, there's nothing to see here.
the full report and underlying evidence.
Fucking losers.
Briefing and testimony from the special counsel, the attorney general, deputy attorney general, and other.
This is such a joke.
Now,
It'll never end. It'll never end.
This afternoon, Speaker Nancy Pelosi made clear that they are on what their fact-finding mission at the moment, waiting to hear what the facts.
Sure, let's get some facts on Hillary.
Be satisfied with anything short of what they believe is full transparency. A number of Democratic House chairmen made that case very clearly, believing that precedent is on their side, believing that public opinion is on their side to get the full report. And Nancy Pelosi sent a letter to her colleagues earlier making the case that conclusions that are summarized by Bill Barr would not be sufficient to her caucus. She said the Attorney General's offer to provide the committees with a summary of the report's conclusion is insufficient. Congress requires the full report and the underlying documents so that the committees can proceed with their independent work, including oversight and legislating to address any issues.
Yeah, let's oversight. Let's oversight their oversight.
Now is what will Bill Barr do? Will he provide the information tomorrow? But even if he does provide the summary of the conclusions, that's not going to be enough for Democrats. So we'll see what the next steps are. But Democrats are preparing for a fight that could last some time.
There could be a lot of fights.
The joke's on you. Fuck you.
Florida Democratic Representative Val Deming. She's a member of the Judiciary and Intelligence Committees. Congresswoman, thanks so much for joining us. What are you expecting from Robert Mueller's report?
Nothing.
Well, thank you so much, Wolf. It's great to be here. And look, a lot has happened in the last 24 hours. We are glad to see this report come to a conclusion after 22 months. But now all of the focus has shifted from Mueller on to Attorney General Barr. During his confirmation hearings, he said that he would be as transparent as possible within the law. So we're going to put that to the test. We voted, as you know, 420-0 to have the Mueller report be made public. And so we believe that Congress, we have a right to know, but certainly the American people have a right to know, and we're going to hold the Attorney General to what he said in those confirmation hearings. We want to see the report in its entirety.
You just got off a conference call with other Democrats. Is there a strategy for getting as much information from the Justice Department as possible?
Yeah, we had a great call today led by Speaker Pelosi and the Democratic Caucus Chair, Hakeem Jeffries. We heard from each of the committee chairs with jurisdiction, just kind of going back over what has transpired in the last 24 hours. And we're now, it's a wait and see game. The Attorney General said that he will send a summary to Congress. We're waiting to see if that happens. We thought it would happen today. There's still tomorrow. We've already talked about mustering back up again on Monday evening when we all get back to Capitol Hill. But we are developing a strategy to move forward. You know that we...
It doesn't look like you're moving forward. You're stuck on the same shit.
But any counterintelligence investigation into the report must by law be released to the Intelligence Committee. Which is, again, not at all the way that Attorney General William Barr is talking about what he's going to do with this information. But the Intelligence Committee chairman may have a point there in terms of them having the law on their side for being able to access this information, sort of despite Attorney General William Barr's discretion. And now tonight, there's this statement from Chairman Jerry Nadler, the Democratic chairman of Judiciary in the House.
The important thing to say now is that the Mueller report, which was handed to the Attorney General, must be made public in its entirety. The American people deserve to know what was going on and the evidence against people or lack of evidence against people. And we are going to insist that the Attorney General make public the entire report and give to the relevant committees the underlying evidence. The precedents are there to do this. 880,000 pages of evidence, of internal evidence from the FBI was given by the Justice Department just last year to the Judiciary Committee when the Judiciary Committee was run by Republicans. So they've set the precedent. If the Justice Department doesn't release the whole report or tries to keep parts of it secret, we will certainly subpoena the parts of the report, and we will reserve the right to call Mueller or to testify before the committee or to subpoena him, as several other committees might do. But we'll only do that if necessary, obviously. The important thing is that the entire report be made public and the evidence behind it be given to the relevant committees so the American people can be informed.
Tonight is a landmark moment. I would still be fishing otherwise.
Oh, you're still fishing.
We still have no idea as to what Robert Mueller has found. You heard the chairman of the Judiciary Committee there talking about the need to disclose this information and plans to get it. We don't know what Robert Mueller found out in his investigation. And honestly, we don't know how his investigation proceeded and whether it was impeded by any sort of pressure or interference by anyone at any time. Now the fight to find out all of that stuff starts in earnest. And this is truly uncharted territory. We've never had a special counsel reporting to Congress in the way that reporting to the Attorney General, who's then reporting to Congress in the way that has just started tonight with this report from Robert Mueller. We don't have precedent as a country to see how this is going to go. And a long way toward the way this is going to be figured out is going to be based on the integrity of the leaders involved here, public servants involved here, and on the clamor and pressure from the public.
Yeah, the public's not pressuring.
She is in the running to be the Democratic nominee for President of the United States.
Pathetic.
Officers on the Judiciary Committee. Senator, I know this is a very busy time for you. Thank you for taking a break and getting to the studio so you could be with us tonight. I appreciate it.
Well, thanks. I want to know if you got a trout before you found out the report had come in.
Well, you know, I've learned two things in life. Never, ever ask a woman if she's pregnant, and never, ever, never, ever ask a person who has just completed the day of fishing if they caught a fish.
She is still fishing.
Never again. Anyway, in other words, the answer is no. Thank you very much. But let me ask you, obviously you've got the same information that we've got, but this letter tonight is directed to the chair and ranking member of the committee on which you serve. Can you just tell us what you are expecting to happen in terms of next steps here?
This report must be released. This isn't just about politics, it's about our democracy, Rachel. And while he has offered to brief the leaders of the committee, I think even the leaders of the committees would tell you what the most important thing is that we get this report out there publicly. 90% of Americans say they want to see this report. 420 members of the House of Representatives voted to make it public. And when you look at those special counsel rules, as you have pointed out, they say that it should be released if it's in the public interest. When you look at the scope of the investigation, which from the beginning was very specific. I mean, it said any links and or coordination between Russian government and individuals associated with the campaign of President Donald Trump. So that is a broad mission, and to me, the public, as we head into the 2020 elections, they have a right to know what's public. So briefings, fine. I would prefer to have it after it's public so we can ask follow-up questions. Certainly want to see the underlying data, and we must be able to see this report. Can't just be a behind closed door, marked up thing that no one gets to see. It's got to be time.
They have such big plans. For what? There's no crime, nothing to see.
But he doesn't want to do that. If he decides in his judgment, for whatever reason, or however he reads the laws or regulations, or whatever he thinks is relevant Justice Department precedent.
I'm sure you'll want to change the laws if he's
Besides, no, I'm going to brief the principal
in the right.
which is who got indicted. And beyond that, I think none of this should be shared with Congress, and you just have to trust us that this is fine. He decides that people calling for it to be released doesn't persuade him. Are there any levers of power that could be used here in order to pry this thing into the public if Barr doesn't want it to be?
Sure, and you've heard this from Speaker Pelosi, you've heard it from Adam Schiff. The House, I don't think you're going to see it happening with the Republican-led Senate, but the House has the ability to try to subpoena this information. If he doesn't release the underlying documents, to try to get those documents with the argument that this was an invasion of our country's democracy. And then, of course, unrelated to the special counsel, you have ongoing prosecutions in the southern and eastern districts of New York, as well as the New York Attorney General's office. Senator Klobuchar, I know that you have been obviously still carrying out the duties of being a senator in Minnesota, but also you've been out campaigning all around the country talking to voters. I wonder if people are interested in the Mueller investigation, if people have been anxious about this impending report. What you're hearing from people as you're campaigning in terms of how important this is, Mueller's findings, but also the treatment of Mueller's information going forward.
I don't think I've been anywhere, whether it's Chicago or California or Iowa, South Carolina, Georgia, where people haven't asked about this, especially in states where you've seen suppression of the vote or you've seen votes that haven't been counted.
Suppression of the vote.
It's really part of our democracy. So we need to know what happened here. How else are we going to prepare ourselves? Now, I will say, you know, here in New Hampshire, today, Senator Shaheen and Hassan and Congressman Pappas, they led an effort to say, and this is something you should follow up on, the list of projects that could be imperiled.
Follow up on the mailman that destroyed hundreds and hundreds of Trump votes.
So I'm going to be talking about that tomorrow when I'm in Rye.
Yeah.
But you can just see that people are still focused on these bread and butter issues that affect their jobs and affect their livelihood. But people can step back a bit and say, none of this is going to work if we don't have a working democracy. And that is really why I think we keep getting asked about it. And people are going to be just, I cannot even imagine what will happen if he doesn't release this.
The media is in a frenzy. Not the public, the media.
Memo that he did before he had his hearing to the White House, in which he showed this broad view of executive privilege. So all of these things make me concerned. I am glad that he released the letter today, and we hope that there is more.
I'm concerned people like you are running for president.
Senator Amy Klobuchar of the great state of Minnesota, 2020 Democratic presidential contender, member of the Judiciary Committee. Again, thanks for jumping off the trail and taking time to join us.
Yeah, jumping off the trail.
Great, and I'm looking forward to hearing the next fish story.
Right. Yeah, there'll be a story, all right.
All right, thank you so much.
Yes.